Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So this is a guide for Forsaken Giant. This is the boss that unlocked with phase 4 on your server. This boss is heavily scripted, so it doesn't really matter how strong you are. You can't really one-shot the boss or anything with your damage. It is heavily scripted. So before I start with talking about things like attack patterns and stuff, the few things you need to know about the boss. So the Forsaken Giant is immune to all elemental damage. Builds like Power Surge, Burn builds, Frost Vortex builds will not really work in this boss, so it's just gonna take into account your raw damage, so your weapon damage, but no effects on anything. So you may want to change up your mods if you want to do like really good damage on this boss. The boss has a lot of weak spot parts, which is like a main mechanic here. You need to keep your eye on the red parts of the boss, because that's also how you're gonna know the attack patterns that this boss is going to do. So let's start with the attack patterns. So the first attack pattern that the boss will do, is probably the first move it's gonna do, will be the hand slam. The hand slam will always start with the glowing weak spot being on the side of his hand, like just below the shoulder. The moment it's below the shoulder, you can shoot it. You'll see it raise that particular arm up, and it's gonna slam the ground. And the moment it slams the ground, there will be a shockwave which you need to jump over, because this shockwave does a lot of damage. The second attack pattern is the big slap. So the big slap will start, you will notice the weak spot will shift from the hand or the stomach or the head to either the left or the right palm of the boss's hands. The moment it's the weak point lights up on that particular hand, that is the hand the boss is going to use to do the slap. So all you have to do is to run to the opposite direction. It has a very wide AoE range, so you need to make sure you run all the way to the edge. You can do some damage to it, but I don't know, it depends on how comfortable you are. If you feel you can make it, just focus on running so that you don't take damage. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does knock you down, and you might just well avoid it. Those two attack patterns, the hand slam and the big slap, are the two main attack patterns. This boss has no auto attacks or anything like that, so you can take your time and watch what the boss is doing. You don't have to rush it, because another thing about the weak spot is it doesn't take damage indefinitely. At some point it is damage cap and you can't do any more damage to it, so there's no point in wasting your bullets. So you might as well just like watch the boss and watch the battlefield and plan accordingly. Another attack that you can see is the damage orbs. So the boss will start charging like a big orb, and it's gonna throw a few small orbs at you. You wanna dodge this, because these do a lot of damage, especially if you get hit by more than 3 or 4. They can actually one-shot you. So make sure you dodge this. Just when they're close to you, dodge out of the way. Apart from the attack patterns, there's phases in the middle where there's a mechanic that you have to do with the platforms. So the arena is divided into 3 platforms separated by a yellow line sort of a thing. So there's 3 platforms, one on the left, one in the center, and one in the right. So the boss will start doing a slam. You will notice a light on your character, so you need to choose one of the platforms to stand in until the light goes away, which will make sure the boss will slam at that particular area. The deal is this: the boss should not slam any of the platform more than twice, because if you slam it 3 times, it's going to destroy that platform and you're going to have a smaller area to deal with. So the easiest way to do is just make sure you just do left, right, left, center, right, and then left, center, right, like twice on each platform, no more than twice. Otherwise it's going to be destroyed. It's not the end of the world if it destroys any platform, but it can make the fight a little harder. Some people don't really mind. I prefer not destroying any of the platforms so that I can have a lot of area to deal with. The platform slam will happen twice, only twice, so don't be afraid. It's only going to happen twice, so you cannot mess it up. So just make sure you put two slams for every platform area. Also, twice in this fight, the boss will spawn an Arbiter Elite This will also happen only twice in the entire fight. If you are doing it solo, it's only one elite. If you are doing it in a team, I believe this scales up to even more elites. I don't know if it is according to the number of players, but I know if I played with one more person and we had 2 elites. So I don't know if it scales up to 4. I hope not. I've not really done this with a party. I did this solo. So the elites is pretty easy. Just kill the elites. I would suggest you kill the flying ones fast, because they actually do a lot of damage, and it's damage that you don't really see it coming. So you might want to deal with the flying ones and then deal with the elite and then do small ones, and that will be the end of the phase. The boss will also periodically cover his face or his stomach with his hands and play an animation as if he is crying. So this is an opportunity for you to open up a weak spot, but the only way you can do this if there is the floating, the red orbs on the ground that you can actually pick up and throw at the boss. If you get this opportunity, just do it. Most of the time it's just gonna stun the boss and give you a few seconds of some free DPS. So just keep that in mind. The boss also has a grab mechanic, which happens at the last phase, so around 20% HP. The boss will start searching around the arena. When you see this animation, you want to run as far away as possible to one of the corners to avoid getting grabbed. When you get grabbed, it's probably gonna one-shot you, or I don't know if it's a bug or anything. For me, it just crippled my legs and I just bandaged myself up and I continued with the fight. So just try and run away from it as far as possible to avoid this grab. There is one more phase where the boss will start crying, and then it's going to spawn AoE puddles on the ground. These are very easy to see, very easy to dodge. You just see them, don't stand on them, basic video gaming, and it's pretty easy. There's nothing interesting about that. So just see red, don't step on red. Simple as that. So a few tips when doing this boss, right? It depends with your food buffs, and especially your whims. I found out that the weaver is actually very useful, especially if you're doing solo. I think it's even better in a team because there's more ads. So what the weaver does, it generates spider like silk on the ground, and if ads walk over it, they get stunned, like they get cocooned, and you can easily deal with your ads like that. So I like the weaver as a whim, and also living armor is like a must-have thing. So the living armor is basically a second health bar, but with a long cooldown. It's like a 10-minute cooldown, but that's all you need. You need it to proc once so to save your life. Okay. Food, that's very subjective because a lot of people are using different builds. I use my shrapnel food, use the canned meat because I like the stamina. I like dodging around. And for the drink, I used the Stardust Energy because I like the double jump. That's make it super easy to dodge the shockwave on the hand slams. But you can choose anything you are comfortable with. This is what I prefer myself personally. It makes the fight really easy for me. So that's it for the buffs. For my build, I'm just using a shrapnel build, but as I said, elemental damage doesn't work. So people with builds like Fast Gunner, Fortress Warfare, Bullseye, those are going to do more damage than any other build. Shrapnel, it's okay, it's respectable. Most people kill this boss in around 10 minutes because it's highly scripted. You can't speed run it because you're gonna when you do more damage to a weak spot, it kind of locks itself after you reach a particular threshold. So you can't really speed run it. Okay. So I hope this helps you understand how the boss works. So now I'm going to play a clip where I do the boss in its entirety. So if you want to watch that, I'm going to leave it at the end. But if what I've said until now has helped you, then good luck on killing the boss.